Welcome back to Chelsea News. Yes people, what's going on? Welcome back to Football Therapy with me, your host Jan. I hope you are all doing well today, mate. I really do hope that. Welcome back to Chelsea News, the daily series here on Football Therapy, where I go across football news media, see what's being said about the Blues, giving my opinion, consolidating all the information, giving my opinion, but hey, more importantly, asking for yours. Got the spiel out nice and quickly. 3 stories that I want to be addressing today in Chelsea News. One is regarding Frank Lampard's press conference, talking about injuries and absentees, etc. Another interesting story that I want to crack into is Chelsea's clash with Atletico Madrid. Yes, it's a little bit far away now, but they could be without 2 key players to play Chelsea. Ooh. And finally, scrape in the barrel here, boys and girls, gotta be honest. News story circulating that Thomas Tuchel is very interested, or reportedly interested, in buying Antonio Rudiger. Strap yourselves in, get comfortable. Do consider subscribing to Football Therapy if you're new to the experience. Daily uploads, of course, you might dig it. Boys and girls, I'd like to request that you do drop a like. Let's see how many likes we can get on this video. Over 2,000? Is that too much to ask? Please? Alright then, that's enough. Let's get into the video. So the first story is regarding absentees, injuries, etc. from Frank Lampard's press conference. When questioned about Hakim Ziyech, Frank Lampard gave a cold and sobering no, not fit for Boxing Day. One thing I did find rather interesting is when Frank Lampard was posed the question about Ben Chilwell and Reece James, both his first choice fullbacks, are they going to be out for this next game, for the next game, both of them, maybe one of them? What's going on, Frank? What is happening with Chilly and James? What I found interesting here is Frank Lampard said, yeah, we're not sure, doubtful. Now, you never really know what's going on inside Frank Lampard's head because he's too seasoned, he's been in football too long to give anything away. But one thing I have found interesting, when players are definitely injured and out, he tells you they're out. Like he did with Ziyech, like in the same press conference today. He always did it with Billy Gilmore, with his surgery, Ruben Loftus-Cheek when he's out, or Hudson-Odoi when he was recovering with his ACL injury. He's always pretty straightforward. If they're not going to play, he usually tells people in the press conference. Now maybe that's like a conscious decision Frank Lampard's made, like, look, I'll play mind games if they're like nearly there, or they might be, but if they're out, I'm going to be real, man, and tell you they're out. So that makes me think, interesting, because Chelsea, obviously, their fullbacks are so important. First choice fullbacks, Chilwell and James. Yes, Azpilicueta is a good deputy, he's good defensively, but Emerson, bless him, there is a rather large drop-off in terms of quality in that left-back position. And of course, Marcus Alonso is nowhere to be seen. He hasn't played a match for months, and even if he did get brought back in, you wouldn't trust someone with no match fitness to play that in a London derby, let alone just a regular Premier League game. So I noticed that, and I wanted to give it a mention, because basically when Frank doesn't give you the full information, I think they're probably training, maybe they are, who knows, maybe Reece James actually comes back in, they decided he doesn't need surgery, they managed the injury. Yes, Chilwell's ankle looked pretty horrible, but you don't know, maybe it was just a bit of inflammation, you can get that down with the doctors, maybe he's good to go, I don't know. Anyway, we'll have to see what happens there. Alright then, let's move on to the next segment of today's video, Chelsea's clash with Atletico Madrid. First up, Diego Costa. Now, Diego Costa is refusing to extend his contract or sign a new deal. I'm not quite sure why Atletico Madrid would want him to, considering his dismal form of late. But the rumours are, the reports are, that he might be sold in January, and that would prevent him from playing Chelsea in the Champions League in January. Off the bat, this is good news. Yes, granted, you might be saying, well, yeah, you know, he hasn't scored many goals since he's gone there. It's all about João Felix and Luis Suarez up front. You'd be right to say that, man. But the lords of narrative, you know how football goes. Diego Costa scores a couple of goals before the fixture, gets brought back in and haunts Chelsea. It's just how things work. So that hopefully has had cold water poured on it, and we won't have to suffer Diego Costa against Chelsea, because I was terrified. So this part of the video is a 2-part segment. Let's talk about the other player who will be missing for Atletico Madrid, and that is ex-Tottenham player Kieran Trippier, the fullback. Now, he's been banned for 10 games for some rather naughty business regarding betting. I urge you guys to go and search out the details on this, but the important thing is he will not be facing Chelsea 100% in the Champions League in that upcoming tie. Now, this is a huge bonus for Chelsea, because Kieran Trippier has been hugely influential for Atletico Madrid under Simeone since he went there. I'm not sure when he first went there he was a massive shining light for them, but certainly he's worked his way into the team and he's become hugely influential in the way they play. Of course, being ex-Tottenham as well, he would have absolutely loved to play against Chelsea in the Champions League, and you could bet your bottom dollar, mate, that he would have raised his game against us. So the Diego Costa report is kind of speculative at this point, but the Kieran Trippier one looks final, and he absolutely won't be there to face us, so that's huge for Chelsea. Remember, Atletico Madrid, they look like they're going to win La Liga this season, so we need to grab and take anything that we can. Alright then, that's enough of that. Let's move on to this next story in today's video. And that is regarding Antonio Rudiger. Paris Saint Germain boss Thomas Tuchel is reportedly a big fan of Antonio Rudiger and would like to bring him to PSG. Now, the press isn't riddled with this story, so I'm not sure how true the claims are, although, you know, Tuchel may have said, yes, I'm interested in Antonio Rudiger, but is the transfer likely? I'm not so sure. Rudiger is very much one of Chelsea's 4 centre-halves that we are looking to use in a congested schedule and rotate him in. Fikayo Tomori is more than likely to go out on loan in January, so would Chelsea flog Rudiger in January? Probably not, in my opinion. Maybe you can survive with 3 centre-halves, and if you're in a really tight jam, you could probably put Azpilicueta in a back 2 if you need to off the bench if there's an injury. Do you know what I mean? Although I find this transfer, this report, this rumour highly unlikely, if PSG really do want him, because they're in a title race themselves, remember, it looks like they're not going to walk Ligue 1 this season. If they really do need a centre-half, and Antonio Rudiger is what they want in January, if they give Chelsea the right amount of money, who knows, maybe Chelsea will consider selling Antonio Rudiger mid-season to PSG for a decent amount of cash, because you can exploit other teams or the buying team in this situation. They're in a title race, it's mid-season, you don't have to sell. They come in for like 35-40 million pounds for Antonio Rudiger. I'm just pulling a number out of the air here. Mid-season. That is very difficult to turn down, to turn away. And then, like I said, if we do sell him, then, you know, if maybe you do keep Tomori and you don't loan him then and he becomes 4th choice, or if Tomori's already got a loan destination, then like I said, if you're in a really tight spot, if you're in a jam, then you can bring in, say, like Azpilicueta, or maybe like, I don't know, I was thinking like Henderson at centre-back for Liverpool, but Jorginho at centre-half literally gives me nightmares. Who knows, maybe Marcus Alonso can be brought out of the cold and be made into a centre-half, a 4th choice centre-half. I'm gone mental now, I've gone crazy. Right, I'm losing my mind, so let's move on to the part of the video where I call out to you guys, ask for your opinions. Would you sell Antonio Rudiger mid-season? If the price was right, how would you play this? What do you think about Diego Costa potentially not playing Chelsea in the Champions League? And of course, Kieran Trippier definitely not playing Chelsea. That's massive in my opinion, so express your thoughts on those stories. And of course, what do you think about the fullback situation at Chelsea at the moment? Who do you think might play? What do you think the situation is? I want to hear your opinions, so make sure you do comment down below in the comment section. Please do drop a like, because it really does help me out a lot, boys and girls. Subscribe if you're new, daily content here on Football Therapy. Up the Chelsea. Enjoy the football, and I'll see you later.
You ain't so tough with that bad boy tuck. I'ma get it how I'm living, I'ma walk the walk. Outline my lines, I rap through thought. Body bag the verse, outlined in chalk. In my life seen trouble, hustle on the double. Silence on the trigger like my pick got a muzzle. Yo chick like to guzzle, bad boy stay in trouble. I only love this paper, sorry I don't. I love me baby.